Lesson 110, Money, the Parent Help video for Grade 3 Everyday Math. There are three new vocabulary words in this unit. The first one's decimal, and when we talk about a decimal is a number, but it's usually a number when we talk about it in third grade, where we have a decimal point that we can see. So let's say 0.56. So that's a decimal, and it would begin with a 0 in this case. Okay, 0.56, or we could also say 1.56, 2.56. Those are all decimal numbers. Okay, we can see the decimal point in the numbers. And speaking of decimal point, that's the next vocabulary word, and it's this point right here that would go after a whole number. Okay, so this is a whole, let's say this is a whole dollar, right? And then this is one whole dollar, and then this is all the little change. Okay, and then this one here, this would be two whole dollars. It's whatever comes after that whole number. It's that point that comes after the whole number. And then this is the change. Okay, especially when we're talking about money, this is kind of how it looks. And so, actually, in every single number, we can consider there's a decimal point. Even if we just have $1, let's just say we have the number 1, there's actually an invisible decimal after this number that we don't write. An invisible decimal point. Okay, and this will be kind of important for you to understand, maybe not today, but later on. Usually we just write like 1, right, for the number 1. But it also could be written like that, because we could also put zeros after that 1. And you will recognize this, I bet, to look like your $1. Okay? So any whole number can actually have a decimal point after it. We just don't bother to write it all the time, because who wants to run around writing decimal points when you don't need to? Okay? But when we need them, for sure we write them. Alright, but in third grade we start talking about these place values. What's happening in all these place values out here? Okay, out to the tenths, the hundredths, the thousandths. We're not talking about that today, but that's just to kind of get your mind thinking about that a little bit. The next vocabulary word is to make change. Well, make change is the change you get back. Okay, so make change is like this. If I go to a store and something costs let's say something costs $16, and I give them a $20 bill, and they make change. The clerk will make change for me. So she made change from the $20 bill, and I got $4 back, right? If something's $16, that's how much I pay, and I would get $4 back if somebody would make change for me. Alright, that's what making change is, when someone gives you change back. It's called making change. So those are the vocabulary words. We want the students to be able to identify digits in a decimal in dollars and cents notation. So for example, if we have these numbers up here, let's just say it's 0.56. This is called dollars and cents notation, because we have a dollar sign and then we have a decimal to show us the cents. So this would be $0.56. Alright, if we have this much money, this would be $1.56. $2.56. We want kids to be able to read money, essentially, in dollars and cents notation. We want them to write money amounts in decimals. So we want them to not just read these, but write these. Be able to compare money amounts. Well, 56 cents is less than, right, is less than $1.56, which is less than $2.56. And $2.56 is greater than, or is bigger than, all of these. Alright, so that's important. And then we want them to be able to calculate values of coin and bill combinations. So that's essentially, we want them to be able to count money. Alright, we want you to be able to count money. So how can you help with this at home? Well, there's lots of ways to help with this. When you go to the store, have the kids count out the money. Okay, have the kids add up how much things are going to cost. Alright, and if you combine it with lesson 1.9, even use a calculator to do some of that. Okay, or just give some hypothetical examples. If you're looking for sure like in an advertisement in a newspaper, If you see something on TV, how much it costs. All right, have kids write it down for you so that you can see, are they getting this? That will be helpful for sure. Also, use this language. Use decimal point, use the language making change. Especially today, we use a lot of credit cards, we use a lot of debit cards. Some of us don't even carry a whole lot of cash anymore. Some of us don't have a whole lot of cash to carry. All right, but even you don't need a lot of cash. If you just have a little bit of cash, you can do this. So this is lesson 110, money, the parent help video for grade 3 everyday math.